Hi everyone, this is Marvel Watch, and my name is Kane. Let's talk about the new Marvel show Moon Knight and why it's our new favorite. This first episode wasn't just exciting, it was confusing in the best way. We meet Stephen Grant, who works in a museum gift shop. This hardly suits his intellect, but apparently his life. He has trouble sleeping because he starts wandering during the night. He wakes in strange places. One of those places seems to be the German Alps, where he's being shot at and meets a mystery man who channels the power of the Egyptian goddess Amit. As this man believes that Stephen stole something from him, he follows him to London, and suddenly Stephen doesn't just face a giant monster from Egyptian lore, but a man in the mirror telling him to surrender his body to save them both. The show is fast-paced, cut brilliantly to only show Stephen's point of view. It's stunning. It took me a second watch to wrap my head around it, actually. I think what baffled me the most as someone who watches a lot of Marvel were the supernatural elements, and how prevalent they appear throughout the first episode. And yes, they seem like hallucinations or dreams because Stephen thinks they are, but they also appear real. The fine line between real and imagined is probably something we'll have to balance a lot in the show. With Marc, the main protagonist, having dissociative identity disorder, getting to know his story will be hindered as his personality shift. We'll be meeting Marc later, though. The first episode was all about Stephen. It made us care about him. That doesn't mean that Marc wasn't there in some capacity. He rather loomed like a shadow over Stephen. This wasn't just indicated by the 2 times he appeared to Stephen in mirrors. The magnified voice in his head called for him to surrender the body to Marc. When Stephen finds a phone in his own apartment, a woman calls and addresses him as Marc before disconnecting. Arthur Harrow also says he knows him and calls him a mercenary. Marc is there. He's just at the periphery of Stephen's life. And it seems he's been there all along. When Stephen arrives at work the first day, one of his co-workers confirms that date, a date Stephen has no memory setting up. It's not proven that this was Marc, though. We don't know yet how many personalities are struggling to surface at different times, but we know that someone other than Stephen bought a new fish that Saturday because the owner of the pet shop tells us. Stephen has very few tangible connections in his life. There's work, where he is constantly misnamed. There's the man Stephen talks to, who poses as a living statue. One of the writers of the show confirmed that he's a man named Crawley from the comics, an informant and friend of Marc's. But the show itself hasn't confirmed this yet, and I don't want to get ahead of myself. And then there's Stephen's mom, who he calls, but seemingly only talks to over an answering machine. She also sent a postcard from a vacation spot. Or did she? The lack of connections in Stephen's life make him a kind of shadow himself. He's there, but we don't know how long he's been there. The only indication is the woman on the phone saying she's been trying for months to reach Marc. Did Stephen appear when Marc disappeared? And what about Amit Scarab? At this point, there are a lot of questions, not just about Marc or Stephen, but about Arthur Harrow and his role in the plot. I'm still kind of haunted by the opening scene with him putting glass in his shoes. That was... ugh. Moon Knight has been perfectly set up. The wait for the second episode will feel much longer than just a couple of days, but it'll be worth the wait. I hope to get into the show more as it progresses, and make more videos like this. Not just about Moon Knight, but about all things Marvel. If you're interested in this kind of content, hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate a like and a comment. If you're still with me, thank you for watching. Stay safe and watch Marvel.